Cool. So the first thing that maybe we want to look at is still working with the formula that we had, or the data set that we had, is sum product. Sum product, let me check the table, the columns that we can use here. But what sum product does basically is just multiplying two rows, right? Sorry, not rows, two columns, and then adding them, right? You don't have to multiply first and then maybe get, for example, you'll understand it when we look at an example. So let me pick, for example, this one, the one we were using for referencing yesterday, and do a sum product here. Sum product. So you'll see. So for example, maybe you wanted the total sales, but you want the grand total, right? We want the grand total of the sales. Yeah. So that is where we may want to use the sum product. So it will maybe take quantity, multiply it maybe by this price unit, and give us the total here. Of course, what we are about to do, we can do by just taking a summation of this column, right? We can just do a sum is equal to sum tab, and then we sum all this, and then we get it to be 3617. Let's try with sum product if it is going to make sense, so that we don't have to first multiply and get this column, right? And then do the addition later on. So we just want to do it one time. Yeah. So let's try and use maybe is equaling to sum product. You tab, and then so it is asking us about array number one. So array number one is, of course, the quantity, right? And then it is telling us to maybe add the second array, and the second array we are saying it is price per unit here. Yeah. Let's see the number that you're getting. So it's not different, right? Yeah. So this is what sum product does. Instead of you having to go and multiply and get a completely new column, that is a total sale, something, right? So what we do is just to let it do that multiplication one time, maybe multiply this C2 by D2, C5 by D5, sorry, and then multiply C6 by D6 up to C14 and D14, and when it is done, it does a summation of all of the results, right? So it's going to multiply and get this value, and then does the addition. Yeah, is that clear? Yeah, so that is one of another formula that can really be helpful for you. Devox, your hand is your thumbs are going down. What you're saying is, um, let me maybe delete this one. So we want to do to get the total sales. So for example, I want to get the total sales of the products that we have here. For example, LEDs and pens and the likes. Yeah. So instead of maybe multiplying first and getting this times this and then get the value here, then at the end add them so that I get the total sales, so that I get the total sales amount, I can do the same thing with the sum product. Yeah, whatever it is that somebody is saying that they can't hear me. Michael can't get me. Are you able to hear me, like everyone? Okay. I can hear you. Okay. Um, Michael, you may need to check your equipment. Yeah, so what I was saying is you'll realize that we want to get maybe the total sales amount. And when we do that, when we multiply this by 30 by 98, we'll get the total sale, right? When we multiply 23 by 65, we'll get the this amount, right? And then at the end, we'll need to do maybe a summation is equaling to sum, is equaling to sum, is equaling to sum and tab. Then we do an addition of all these things, right? And then we get 3617. But I mean, that can be a tedious process because we first have to do the multiplication and blah blah, right? So sometimes you may not need to do that, and that is where some product comes in. So it sums the product of C5 times C D5, right? Yes, Oscar, I am recording. There is Oscar. Yeah, if you check, if you check, there's something that is red down there. The OBS studio is busy recording. Only the OBS software. Okay. Yeah. So what we are saying is that some product, what it will do, instead of us multiplying all these things and then getting maybe total sales and then finally doing the summation, let us just use a sum product mara moja, right? So of course, functions has to start with sum product, and then now you multiply. So it is asking us the first array. What is the first array? So you'll highlight up to wherever it is that you want to have your array, right? But now our array is just up to this. Then that is array number one. So if you put one array, let's see what happens. You'll just get 628 because it will just be summing. It will be summing these things, summing these values that are here. But now we have to input two arrays because we wanted to multiply quantity and multiply it with what is this, with the price per unit. So comma, and then we add this one. And then you need to ensure that they are of the same length. Let me just check if to see that it's true. So you'll find that you have 36, 717. Let's see if you make it D15. Yeah, so you see there's an error because this one is ending at C14, this one is ending at D15. Are you seeing the whatever it has been highlighted there? So that is D14. Devox, are you okay? Yeah. Peter, can you hear your microphone is on? So that is 3617. So that is some product. Other formulas maybe concat. Somebody to tell us what concatenate is or what it does. Let me pick Alex Gitahi. What does concatenate do? Alex Gitahi? Somebody's hand is up or what? Okay. Alex Gitahi, are you able to speak? Um, this one goes back to another Alex. Alex Olwach, what is the function of concatenate? Okay. Yeah. Its main function is for combining maybe two cells or maybe combining two texts that are in, or maybe that are in different columns, I mean. So for example, is equaling to concatenate. So suppose maybe I want to concatenate the name of a person and then the occupation, right? So maybe I want to concatenate Radovan. So it is telling us text number 1, text number 2, right? And maybe I add the salary. I mean, we are getting it, making it complex, but yeah. Think of it this way. Now you can see Radovan statistician 2345. So you know very well that Radovan is his occupation is statistics, and then the salary that is receiving is 2345, right? But if you look at it, it doesn't look nice, like the light, yeah, it doesn't look right, and we may need to do other things for it to look a little bit presentable. So who can tell us what to do now that we are agreeing? First, are we agreeing that it is not presentable the way it is? Are we in agreement that it can be confusing? Or first, have we been able to do that? If you've been able to do that first step, thumbs up. Wedanji. Anybody who has not been able to do that? Devox, Concat. Peter Kanyoi has given us an example of something to do. Yeah, I mean, let me remove this, the price. Sorry, not the price, the salary. So we have Radovan, statistician, but we want to provide some spacing, right? So it's either we do this is equaling to concatenate, and then maybe Radovan here, comma, and then now we introduce spacing, yeah. So if you, sorry, I pressed enter. So if you introduce spacing there and say statistician, now you can see that there's some space between Radovan and statistician, right? Sometimes it can also confuse us that the name of this person is maybe Radovan statistician. So we may want to even put a hyphen here, a hyphen there. So Radovan statistician. So if you do not put a space between the hyphen and the quotes, you see what is going to happen, like it is joining without any space, right? Yeah, so what you can do is the more you provide spacing, the more the spacing is going to be there. Think of it that way. Now you see how the amount of space that we have here, yeah. So you can just play around with that. Yeah, so that we have Radovan statistician. If we pull it down, let's get this one back. Yeah, so you can see that Radovan is a statistician, Javan is an artist, Sean bouncer, Wema is a doctor, Amisi is a PHO, and finally maybe Jackton is an engineer. Yeah, so that is that. Are you able to do that? That is part of concatenating something. If somebody needs it to be repeated, Now, yes, Janice. Yeah, we've said concatenate is basically to join two things together, right? And yeah, David, your hand is also up. Yes. Okay, you can mute your microphone. Okay. Yeah. So we were saying that concatenate is basically used to join two different maybe variables, right? Or maybe information in a certain column, you want to join it into a different column. Or maybe you want to join information like there is an address of somebody and there is zip, is it zip what? Zip number or zip code, right? Maybe somebody is coming from somewhere like Mombasa, and then maybe the code is maybe 00300 or something. So you want to join the two so that you just have a one thing like maybe one all address, right? So that the informations are not scattered here and there. You may also want to maybe join like the street and then the street number. Those are some of the things that you may want to even join. You may want to join, there is a date and there is a month and there is a year. Both of them are lying in different columns. So you may want to join those two things so that you form a date, something that looks like a date, right? Yeah, so that is what we are saying. So the first thing to do is, of course, write is equaling to concatenate B2 G2. So you first highlight the the first or maybe the information that you want to join. So the first one where the cell that is containing the information that you want to join, for example, here is Radovan, and again you want to join it to maybe the occupation that we are talking about. So it's that concatenate is equaling to which cell contains that information. Of course, it's B2 and then comma G2. Let me write it. So it's equaling to concatenate and then text number one. It is asking you text one, text one. So the first text is this, comma. What is text number two? Maybe Machakos. Text number three, statistician. Uh, comma, until the end. I mean, where you want to stop. So if you put in, you'll realize that Radovan from Machakos County is a statistician. Yes. And that's it. But again, when you look at it, there is no spacing between Machakos and statistician. So you may want to add some other information here. For example, add in a space, comma, go here and then add in a space, comma, right? And then when you add it, you'll see that you have Radovan Machakos statistician. At least it has some sort of a spacing between it. Yeah. Similar to maybe instead of using that space, you want to add maybe an hyphen Apple. So even the hyphen, when you are adding it, you have to ensure that there is a space between the hyphen and and the the quotations, right? So that you have Radovan Machakos statistician. Yeah. Are we together, Janice? Cool. Something else. Let me just let me do something here. So for example, our Radovan here was let us put in some extra spacing. You can see the extra spaces that I've put between. You can see that there's some extra spacing between Radovan and the hyphen. You may even want to also increase this one and then drag it to the bottom where we have the information here, and then you can see that we have some spaces. Wema, your hand is up.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
What if we want to write them like in a whole range instead of using the comma between maybe B2 and G2?
In a whole range.
If we use the use the colon from B2 to G2. So how can we have the spacing maybe at once if you have to write that way? How can we have them spaced? What are the functions?
That you want to write, you want to join B2 up to G2.
Yeah, you want to have the whole of the information at once.
So you want like a shortcut to ensure that you do it once.
Yeah, but you still have the spaces with them.
I doubt if there is any because of let's see, concatenate. So you're saying that you may want to join all of them heavy. It is not possible, right? Because there's a certain steps to be followed. For example, if you check here, if you do maybe what I've done here, it will be considered as one text number one, right? Let's just see what it's going to bring, and you have value. Yeah, so it has to be stepwise. Yeah, so you have to start with text number one, which is the first text that we are. And if you do a what? I mean, you use that full colon, then it is going to be treated as one text, but again, it is going to have a problem, the value error that we have there.
Okay, I have it. So it doesn't have spaces. That's the only problem.
Or you found the answer, but it doesn't have spaces.
Yeah.
Like you did what I've done here, dragging from here to.
No, I just selected B2 and then pressed full colon and then selected G2.
So you did this and then selected G2.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what I've done by dragging. And then mine is having a value. And then if you read the error,
I have a comma after that and a spacing.
A comma after B2.
After 2, I have the comma and spacing.
Here.
After G2.
Okay. After G2. So you have a comma and a spacing. A spacing in quotes? Let's see what. Wema. Wema is. We'll review when Wema gets back. Okay. Yeah. So there's something that I was saying. We have added in some spaces here. There are some random spaces, and we may not be sure how many they are, by the way. And sometimes it can affect your. Sorry, it can affect your operations in whatever way, and you'll see why. When we are going to do something on VLOOKUP, you'll see why spaces. That's why you also need to be keen with the spacings that you add. So for us, how do we remove the extra spaces that we have? So that is where the trim function comes in. Let's see if we write here trim is equaling to trim. So what do you want to trim? You want to trim this text. Yeah. So if we write trim, you see that it is reducing the number of spaces that we have back to just one space before the hyphen and one space before the after one space after Radovan and one space before statistician. So for us to maybe effect it downwards, you can just double tap or just drag it down, double tap or double click, and then that is the. So you'll see that the extra spacings that we had has been removed by the trim function. So trim function allows you to remove extra spacing within your data. So first, for example, maybe when you are typing here, you by mistake you clicked maybe the space bar and added maybe um who maybe Charles, and then added by mistake you're typing very fast, added Charles Taylor. So you'll see that you have Charles Taylor here. So even when you're going to do a VLOOKUP, I'm introducing VLOOKUP and you're not yet there, but you'll see where or maybe why this one is very important for you to be able to clean your data fast by even removing those extra spaces. You'll understand it in a short way, but that is how to remove the extra spacing so that you have Charles, there's no space before it, and there's no space after Charles. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's something here. I'd already written it. Max function, and the min function. Of course, this is maximum and minimum. So the maximum function allows you to determine like the maximum value within a certain array, right? So for example, in this case, you wanted to see what is the highest earner. I mean, it's not a must that you go and sort, filter, what, and sort ascending, sort descending for you to know which one is the maximum value, right? But you can just use max function, and then you just write is equaling to max, and then you highlight the area that you want to look at. So for example, you want to look at this one, and then when you type it's the maximum value is Kenya shillings 120,000. We can even look at the maximum age of the people. Is it maximum? Yeah. We can look at the maximum age of the respondents. So you go back to your age and then add that, and then you'll realize that 87 is the highest value. So think of it that you have even 1,000 rows of data, and then you can just use these functions to even determine the highest, maybe the highest person the highest income earner in a certain office, or maybe in a certain company, the person who has spent maybe the least time since they got into the workplace or the workstation. I mean, there are so many parameters that you can look into when discussing this. Yeah, minimum similar is just equaling to min, so is equaling to minimum of for example, who is the lowest income earner, and then you have it that way. You'll realize that there's 342 is the lowest income that is being earned here. First, are we okay with the trim, max, min, and concatenate? We move to left and right before we jump into VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Alan Soita anasema hiyo trim. Who else is having a problem with another formula among the three? Let me look at somebody. Bethel Kamau. Are you okay? Okay. I hope everybody else. Eric Mwendwa. Eric Mwendwa is not speaking. Kiprop Martin. Are you okay? Your microphone is just blinking. Okay. Alan is talking about trim. Trim function helps us to clear some spaces. Let me say extra spaces. And why is it important to clear them? Because um, Excel counts spaces as characters. Let me give you an example. There's a formula we've not used here, and it's called len. Len. There's a formula called len. So let's say is equaling to len. Len is basically length. So len, and then let's count the length of let's count the length of this one. Sorry, yeah, the length of L8, because L8 is the one containing Kinuthia hyphen librarian. Yeah, so let's count its length. So we can see that it is 30 in length. So you may count maybe Kinuthia is how many words? How many letters? Sorry. Kin, that is 6, 8, 9. Librarian, 12, 15, 18. So there's 18 and then there is 19 here. Then it means that the spaces that are here are 11. Yeah, because I'm seeing it as 18 for the letters and the hyphen, and then there's some extra spacing here, which is 11. So let us count the length of Kinuthia librarian without this extra spacing, because this one we have already trimmed. So if you say is equaling to len, and then we have Kinuthia, you'll see that it is 20. Yeah, it is 20. So that tells you that the extra spaces that were there are counted as characters by Excel. So that is if you use this formula length. This one is a length formula. So that is why it is important to trim this information that we have here. To trim, I mean to remove any extra spacing, because you may not know the number of extra spaces that are there. You may also know you may not know where they are appearing in or something. So the trim function basically helps you to, so if you write here is equaling to trim, it helps you to remove extra spaces. So you just type the um, the position, or maybe the cell that you want to trim, and then once you've done that, you can just drag it down so that it fills up with this, and then the extra spaces has been cleaned, right? Are we okay, Alan? Okay. Yeah. Another thing should be now left. So what is the function of left or right? Let's first start with left, and I'm going to pick somebody. Pray that it doesn't the hook doesn't fall on you. So what is the function of left? Let's pick Winnie Ambogo. What is the function of left? Winnie, your microphone is on mute if you're speaking. If not, Raban Muriu. Raban, you can pick it up from there. What is the function of left? Left function. Okay. Whoever wants to say, unmute.
To extract characters to the left.
Yeah, to extract characters to the left. Hans Musioki, your hand was also up. Hans?
Yes.
Yeah, you wanted to respond.
Yeah, it is used to give characters the number of characters from the start of the string, that is from left to right.
Okay. Yeah, we may want to extract. So let's give this example. Maybe I have so we have January, sorry, January, then I have February, where are we going up to? So we have January, February, March, April up to December. Sure. So we want to use the length function to to extract the first three characters. So that is what, not length, sorry, left. So left and then text. What is the text that we want to extract? We want L number 29, L29, comma. Number of characters that we want to extract, we want to extract 3. Yeah. So it brings you Jan. Yeah. So if you double click, of course, it's Jan, Feb, March up to Dec. Ah, are you understanding what we're saying? Yes. Somebody is having a challenge with that. Vintain, I saw your hand up.
Okay, I was asking because you're big on F29. What is the tree for? Like that tree which you put it to be like comma tree. What is the tree?
Oh, okay, yeah, you are asking about this is equaling to left. Um, so left. So you can see here it is telling you which text do you want to extract some characters from, right? So the one I want to do the extraction from is this, and then it is asking you what is the number of characters that you want to extract? Do you want to extract one character, or do you want to extract two, or do you want to extract five? Yeah, let's say we want to extract 5. If we say we want to extract 5, let me see if it's going to work. So this one is saying January. I'm saying let's see if it's going to work because of July and the likes. So if you check July, let's count the number of July because it wasn't 5, it was 4. So let's see if it has added some extra spaces. Oh, 4 still. Okay, no problem. Yeah, so what you are saying is the number that we put here is the number of letters that you want to extract. Yeah. So now if I want to extract 2, then it will just be, I put there 2. So it will be Ja Rastafari. Then Jafe, Iron or something, MAAP, MA Juju, AU, you get it there. You know what it means? SE, OCD, NO, and DE. Yeah. So that is if you want to extract 2. Aiga Philes, you're saying how comes you don't have this sheet? Oh, okay. What I did is just to copy, oh, just create a new sheet. By the way, sorry, you could have informed me earlier on. And I hope you people have done that. This is just like creating, I just go and tap on maybe new sheet and write it other formulas. Uh, other formulas. Yeah, so I've put in spaces so that it doesn't look like this one. That is now the essence of spacing. So once you have done that, just go to this information that we have here and copy it. So control copy and then go to other formulas and then paste it anywhere. You can paste it here, you can paste it here or here. So it depends on where you want to paste it. So you can paste just the numbers. If you paste this one, then you are just pasting the numbers without the formulas attached, right? This one means you're just pasting the numbers only. So that is, if you check here, there is no formula. No, sorry, do we have formulas for this? Yeah, there were those rules that we put inside this cell. So for example, when we did the data validations, you can see, for example, these ones. Yeah, so when I've pasted right now here, I've only pasted numbers. There's no rules, there's no validations, there's no formulas that I've copied. I only copy what I am seeing on face value. Whatever is behind the scene is left there. And then now you can write in whatever it is. You'll follow through these things that I hope you've practiced also, you've written them on your. But Aiga, you understand what is supposed to be done, right? Yes? Cool. Um, the last thing that you're supposed to do, even before that, Vintain, now you understand the how to use left. Vintain Kotishoin.
Yeah, I'm okay, I'm okay.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, now let us look at right. This one called right. I mean, this is just different. I mean, the opposite of whatever it is that we are doing here. So when we are talking about left, we are starting to count from J going this way. Right? We start counting from J. But when you talk about right, we are going to start extracting going towards the left. So if I say I want to extract only one value from the right, Y is going to be extracted, one character. If I want to extract 3 characters, R is going to be extracted. Let's try it out. Is equaling to June, sorry, is equaling to right, then text. So the text we want to extract is this one. The number of characters we want is, maybe we want 1. Yeah. So you can see that Y has been extracted there. And then you can, so YY, H, whatever, up to R. So the last ones you can see there is only R's. If you want to extract maybe 3, you can see up Ari, Arch, and whatever. And think of maybe you have a date, or maybe something that, let us just write something that is looking like a date. The 30th of 30th of what? Uh, even 30th of December 1994. Or let's write in some couple of numbers. And 345. 345 is pairing twice. Even 907. So we can even change it to long date, short date. Let's do a short date. And then now we want to extract the years. Yeah. So you can say I want to extract from right. So which one do I want to extract? This one, comma. Number of characters, I want 4. Then you can drag it down. Yeah. The only problem here is if we format this one again, it is going to be formatted in terms of date. That's why I didn't want to write it in this format. I can write you can write it maybe 13 12, so that Excel doesn't recognize it as a date, because this is not the format that Excel uses. So is equaling to right, and then you just do this number of characters for 1910. Yeah, you see, now you can see that we have 1910. Somebody having a question, or are we okay with that? Why I left this, if we format it back to, or we can format it to, let's see if we format it to, instead of leaving it, format it to short date. No, yeah, there's no one to format it to year. Let's see a short date. Yeah, that is a, let's work with this one. It's easier to understand, or maybe that you can extract maybe this last 4 to depict maybe some sort of uh, a year value from the dates that we are having. So that is right. That is the right functionality. You can also look. I mean, these ones are simple things, but equally important in terms of you manipulating around the data here and there. Now we go to the elephant in the room, which is VLOOKUP. Now this is one of, we will look at one side of it. There's another side of it where you can join 2 different tables using this formula called VLOOKUP. So get ready. Are you able to see the screen, and it's too small? I zoom in. Okay, let me zoom. So think of it again this way. We have large amounts of information, right? But there is one specific one that we are looking for. Yeah. So for example, in this case, we are asking ourselves that which county does Kipchumba hail from? But then first, VLOOKUP is a tool that is helpful when looking for a certain value vertically. When you talk about V inside that VLOOKUP, V means vertical, right? So it's a vertical lookup. You'll also see another one called a HLOOKUP, which is um, looking up for a certain value horizontally. Yeah. And it's you'll notice that VLOOKUP will be one of the key tools that you'll be using when you're looking up for a single value within a certain column. So here we are asking ourselves that which county does Kipchumba hail from? So within your data there is somebody called Kipchumba. You can even see we have Kipchumba here, right? I mean, within our data we have Kipchumba, and then we want to see which county does Kipchumba hail from, right? So maybe name, Kipchumba, county, then now we start writing the VLOOKUP. You'll see that VLOOKUP has a certain structure: a lookup value, table array, column index number, and then there is range lookup, the range way in which we are looking up for the value, right? Yeah, so lookup value, table array, column index, range lookup. Then, so what is our lookup value? That is why I typed Kipchumba here. So the name that you want to look up for is Kipchumba, or maybe the value that you are looking up for is Kipchumba. But what element of Kipchumba are we looking for? We are looking for the county in which Kipchumba is coming from. So the table array that we are going to look up for a certain information about Kipchumba, that table is this one. Of course, this table that we've been working with, that one, comma, column index. So column index, what are we looking for? We are looking for the county in which Kipchumba hails from. This is the county that you're talking about. So name is our first column. So this first column is given index number 1. Age is second column, index number 2. Gender, index number 3, and county, index number 4. So what Excel is going to do is it's going to walk through the data, and if it finds somebody by the name Kipchumba, it will tell us the county that he is coming from. So that is column index, comma. Then there is true and there is false. True is giving us an approximate match. Sometimes you can find somebody called Kipchumbar, right? So if it finds something that is similar, closely related to Kipchumba, it will tell us that the information where that Kipchumba is coming from. I mean the county. So if you want to get an approximate match, you use the true. But if you want to get an exact match, then you use false. You type in false. So you type false, or maybe just tab there false, and then close your bracket. I know maybe somebody has been confused there. If you're confused, put up your hand before I type enter. DevOps maintain 3 more as the shared up the answer. Bethel, Raban, Prop. Yeah, okay. You can lower your hands. Let us just do an enter first, and then it is telling us that Kipchumba is coming from Nairobi County. Let's see. So Kipchumba is here, is coming from Nairobi. Let's do a different example. So we are asking again, what is the occupation of somebody called Fahiza? So maybe let me first write here. Why is it? Let me write name, and then maybe I write occupation. And then I have, so the name of the person you're looking for is Fahiza. And another thing else, you realize that if you are going to write Fahiza, let's just see the answer that you're going to get. So is equaling to VLOOKUP. What is our lookup value? Fahiza, comma. What is our table array? The table we are looking for the information from is this one, comma. What is our column index? But this time around we are talking about occupation. So name is index number 1, age number 2, gender number 3, county number 4, salary number 5, occupation number 6. So that one is our 6th index. range of lookup. Do you want an exact or approximate match? Let's say we want the exact match. And then, so somebody by the name Fahiza is microbiologist. Okay, yeah, in this case, it doesn't care about the case. It is not case sensitive in this case. Yeah, you're looking at even what is Maxwell's monthly salary. Maybe you can say upper Maxwell. Uh, so let's see. I've written Maxwell here, and then there's a different Maxwell. And then salary. And then you look at so Maxwell. So is equaling to VLOOKUP. Then you're looking up for this information Maxwell table array. Table array is this one. Then comma. Column index. We're talking about salary. Salary, this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So index number 5. And then I write 0. If I write 0, 0 is the same as false. So why is it saying an NA? Why is it saying an NA? Why is it saying an NA? Somebody who knows better? I'm seeing your hand is up. If you're speaking, you're on mute.
Sorry, I think it's I want to try. It's a guess.
Yes.
I think it's because Maxwell is the one we have written is single L and the one we have is double L.
Yeah, so that is why we are having that issue. So you can see that Maxwell's salary, monthly salary is 78,000 here, right? In the same sense, we can even find the monthly salary of Alvas. Is it case sensitive? It's not case sensitive, and you can see with the example that we have here, Fahiza. Fahiza is capital, but the Fahiza we are having here is small letters. But it is it needs you to write the exact name that you want. Even if it's a county that you are writing the exact county, right? So we are looking at maybe somebody like Alvas. Alvas yake ni 98766. Check if you have somebody like Hezron, NA. Maybe we don't have an Hezron in our do we have somebody like a Jackton? Jackton is 45, 46. Yeah. Yeah, it's is it sinking in? If it's sinking in, hands up. If it's not, thumbs down. I mean, not hands up, but thumbs up. I want to see somebody who's, if it's not sinking in, thumbs down. Don't be afraid to do that. John and Aqua, thank you. Somebody else. Candy Mutia. Those are two. Uh-huh. Okay, so that makes sense. Let's do another one. How old is Velma? Sorry, not Velma, Wema. So maybe name. I want the age, and I want to say. Now, the first thing to do, first write the V is equal to VLOOKUP. Then it is asking you, what is the lookup value? What value are we supposed to be searching information about? and that value is WEMA, comma. Where is WEMA contained? I mean, WEMA including the value that we are going to look at. We are looking at how old WEMA is. Because now age is the one that we are dealing with, it's not a must that we pick the whole table, right? We can just pick um, even these two, right? We can just pick that one. So what is our table array? Our table array is that one, where information, because we just need the first one which contains the name and the other one which contains the age. So how old is Wema? So we can just pick that, comma. What is the column index? So this column index is for the age, not the column index which contains the name. We are looking for the column index which contains the age, because we are interested in the age of Wema. We are not interested in the name of Wema. So the column index is for the column where you are looking for information. Yeah. And in this case, we are looking for information from about the age of Wema. So the column index is, this one is index number 1, this one is index number 2. Index number 2, comma. And then, so the column index is number 2, comma. Then range lookup. Do you want approximate or you want an exact match? And then you say, I want an exact match. And then you add you close the bracket, I mean. Then you have it that way. Then Wema is 16 years old. Sorry, where is Wema? Do you have Wema here? Or we are looking for, yeah, Wema is here, 16. Yeah. Let's ask Wema if she's 16. Wema, are you 16? Wema Odhiambo?
Now I'm 19.
Yeah, I mean, this one was just a guess. So Wema 16. So that is basically how to find, maybe to use lookup, VLOOKUP. Let me ask the two. Jonah, are you now understanding VLOOKUP?
Yes, okay now.
Okay, the other person was it Vintain or who? But I believe we are okay. So suppose maybe we are looking for information here, Harriet. We said it's not case sensitive. Let's write funny things here, Harriet, and let's see if it's, yeah, Harriet is 87. So Harriet is here. But if you write Harriet, ni kama ulikuwa unataka kuandika Haria, anti wa Haria, hiyo upati. That is that. I believe you now are aware that it's okay. Yeah. Now this is where you can introduce something. I was just forgetting, because now it is getting for us an error, right? You can introduce something else. So in this formula, we can say, what should it return for us when there is an error? Yeah, we can tell Excel that, because here we found an error because there is no Harrier. It is supposed to be Harriet. So let me write it properly. Harrier. All right. It's supposed to be Harriet, but now it's an error. So let's tell Excel that you're supposed to tell us something if you find that error. So we can say if error. You can see that there is if error there. If error value. So this is the value that is returned if it is true. I mean, if you find that value that you are looking for. How about if you make a mistake the same way we've done here? What is supposed to be returned? I mean, there is value. This is just what we had written previously. If it is true, then this is what is going to be executed, right? We are being asked, how about the value if there is an error? Value if error, we can tell it to say, what can we tell it to say? I want somebody to pop up with an example. If there's an error, what should it say?
Error.
Error, Wema. Somebody else? No match found. Invalid entry. I mean, all those things that you've said are okay. So you just have to write there maybe value not found, or even you can even tell, hey, you are crazy, my G, right? Let's sell it that way. I mean, these are just, but again, you ensure that your brackets are well aligned. And if you see here, it's saying you are crazy, my G. So that means that you've made some sort of a mistake. But that one might throw you off the book. Let's write value not found, right? Value not found. So haria, ukiona hivyo, then it tells you, how about if it's if the value is correct, it is returning you the exact number, right? If we thought about maybe a certain name, even wrote Castro, value not found. So that is because we passed in another argument, and that is for if there is an error, what is supposed to be returned? You enter value not found. Alvas is 41 years old. Are we together? Yes. Okay. Yeah, that is VLOOKUP. That is VLOOKUP. That is one side of it. There's also VLOOKUP for when you're supposed to join even two tables. It's not complex. You'll also revise that because it can be part of your. I'll share even a video talking about that because I want us to cover HLOOKUP. Looking at time also. Unless there's any question around that VLOOKUP that we've done. Okay, we are doing fine. So maybe I give you a question. Which question should I? Hmm, hmm, okay, yeah, we've just looked at all of them. I'm looking at a different combination that we could be having. There's one thing, by the way, for VLOOKUP, the value that you're looking for must always be. I'm looking at how to structure it for you to understand. That the lookup value should always be to the left, or maybe should always be on the left. For example, if you see here, we were looking for maybe what is the occupation of Fahiza, because this is our lookup value. Fahiza is our lookup value. It must always be to the left. VLOOKUP, this value must always be to the left. Everything else that we are looking up for should be on this other side. Don't think of it that maybe there's name appearing here and you're looking for age to the right. Yeah. Okay. Let's try it out. Control copy, or maybe Control X. Yeah. So think. Let us try it. Maybe we. So let's say that which county does Kipchumba hail from? So you can see right now that let's say G to 21, I'm a H to 21 before we start speaking. So H to 21. Yeah, you see, we've increased the size of our table, right? But it's giving us an NA, value not available error. It's giving us an NA because the value that we're looking up for is to the right. We're looking up for information about Kipchumba, but the column is to the right. So this column should always be to the left. I mean, the lookup value should always be to the left. It should be this side, and then everything that you're looking up for should be following. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Okay. Or let us do it practically. Let's say maybe what is the edge of Jemutai? Jemutai is here. So we can say, so we have our Jemutai there, Jemutai, right? And then we are looking for the edge. So is equaling to VLOOKUP, Jemutai is here, comma, table array. What is our table array? Table array is this one, comma. Now here is where it gets, what is the column index? Because column index, we are supposed to be counting that the column containing the lookup value is the first index. Then the one following it, second, third, fourth, fifth. Now you see we cannot count going backward. That will mean that if this one is the first one, then G is 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, because we are looking at the edge. If you say -4, column index to be -4, comma, then exact match, we are finding an NA. So that is why it is always important that the lookup value, the column containing it must be to the left. Okay. Are we okay? We go to HLOOKUP. Thumbs up if you're okay. Okay. I'm seeing a question by Vince Mururi. Vince, you can unmute and ask a question.
What has changed and the other one was still working when you were doing the VLOOKUP?
What has changed when I have changed the position of name?
Yeah, because you said that VLOOKUP only works when the data set you're looking for is to the left.
Sorry, to the right. Yeah, this one has to be to the left, and then everything that you're looking for has to be to its right, right? This name, for example, the other things you're looking for should be to its right, right? If you have this lookup variable to this other side, there is no way you are going to count the column indices, right? Or maybe the column index, because you're supposed to be counting this one as number 1, this number 2, number 3, number 4, and onwards. So if you have it to the right and you're looking for information contained on this side, there's no way you are going to do your counting. It will mean that you're going to do negatives or maybe steps going backward, which Excel doesn't recognize. Okay. Yeah, let's do a HLOOKUP. And for this HLOOKUP, I want us to use, so create another sheet. So I want to show you what I did here. So create this sheet, and call it HLOOKUP. So HLOOKUP. So the information we want to look for, or maybe the table we want to use, is this one. So I want just to copy this, or let me copy it this way up to here, including that 1.1. Copy. Then There is something called the transposing. I don't want to look at it this way. I want all these things to be as rows, right? Columns to be as rows and the rows to be as columns. So that is transposing, right? I know you're aware of to transpose. So transposing, you just, after copying this, the table that we have here, then you come to where you want to paste it and right click. And then you'll see there's something here, transpose. There's this one called transpose. Yeah. How many people are able to transpose? If you're able to transpose, if you are not able to transpose, okay, Vince, Devox not able to. Anybody else who is not able to transpose? So in transposing, the rows become the column and the columns become the rows, right? So for example, in our instance here we had, you can see how these things are. Item, lead, whatever, lights. So right now, this one was column number 1. If you come to where we pasted it, column number 1 now becomes a certain row, the first row, right? These ones were column headers. They were initially column headers here. Now they have become the rows. So that is basically transposing. Because HLOOKUP looks up for values horizontally, that is why I wanted us to transpose it so that we use it. If you check, of course, Oscar Kambana, the question you were asking, and now here we might need to figure it out. Let's see. Let me first even delete these ones that are eating up space for nothing. Okay, sorry. I want this 1.1 to maybe be somewhere here. Yeah, so if you want to solve that issue, Oscar, you can do this. Let's try this one. So you first maybe highlight from here, this corner. This one means that you'll be able to highlight all the cells. If we had made this to be a table, it will have highlighted the table, but already we have not had it as a table. So you just double tap one of them, double click. Let's see. Yeah. So you see, if you double click it, auto fits the cells within, or maybe the information within the cells. Is it okay, Oscar? Okay. Yeah. So instead of, let me say Control Z. Instead of going here and maybe dragging this one, dragging this, dragging that one, and coming maybe to drag this one. Yeah. So you just do that and just find one of them and double click. So it will sort that issue out. So, I mean, this is similar to, there were questions that I had written here. So what is the unit price of gloves before the increase? So that one is, I don't know, now to transpose. 759, okay. So this is what I wanted us to use, Waidhanji, this table, right? So if this is the table that you're supposed to use, I'm copying also this 1.1 because it's part of our formula here. Otherwise, I can even do it without it. Here, then control copy, then go to where you want to transpose, then right click. This one is paste, you just paste it normally. This one you are pasting only the values. This one you are pasting also the formula because you are seeing the formulas here. This one now you are transposing. This one you can play around with and see what it is happening, what it is doing. But here, this is what you want to transpose. Transpose is you are taking the columns to become the new rows, and the rows that were originally there becomes the new column. I mean, you are changing the structure of the tables, right? Yeah, so there are different formulas of, or maybe ways of pasting. So you can paste just the values. If I paste values here, there's no formulas. Control Z. If I paste formulas, let me see. You can see there's formula here, right? We have pasted even the formula. Control Z. Yeah. So if that is pasting even the formulas. Let's see what this one does. There's nothing that has been pasted. Yeah. If you want to paste Control P, you can do that. So Control P combines values and combines formulas. Um, if you want to transpose, change the okay. Let me paste it and just see here. Um, so this one, yeah, you can see how it is. Initially, this is how it was looking like. Item, quantity, price, they were the headings of our column, but now you can see item, quantity, price, they become rows. These ones were columns originally. Right now they are becoming rows. Yeah. Understood, Waidhanji? Okay. Yeah, so uh, this is just more or less close to what we are looking at with the VLOOKUP. So HLOOKUP, what is our lookup value? We have been asked that what is the unit price of gloves before the increase? So the lookup value is gloves. What is our table array? So this one. And then what is the row index? Row index. This one is not column index now. It is row index. Alvas, your microphone is on. This is now the row index. So what is the row index of gloves? Where do we find gloves? Sorry, we are looking at what is the unit price. Okay, so price per unit. So that is row number 1, row number 2, row number 3. The row index is 3. False or true, we want the exact value. So you see that we have 65. If we change this thing to maybe we want to see the price of strings before the increase, you just write there strings. Pale ambao ni no strings attached. This time we are attaching $4 to the strings. We may even be having tenths, and then you can see tenths is 123. The price is 123. If you pick something like a backpack, you can see that it is, sorry. You can see it is 105. I mean, it's similar thing because I wrote one example here. Yeah, so somebody to find for me the new price of belt after the 10% increase. Write the formula. Kila mtu, because I'm going to pick you to tell us the formula that you've written. So be sure that you are going to be picked. 2 minutes. So there are those questions there. What is the new price of a belt after the 10% increase? And what is the total sale of keyboards before the increase? Get ready. Okay, time to pick up people. Tell us what they have done. So the first victim is Job Ouma. Give us the first formula. Is what is the new price of a belt after the 10% increase? Uh-huh. Let's get from who is done to put up their hand. There's no wrong answer. This is a some sort of a Gumbaru school. We are not going to laugh at you, and it will be pointless too. Peter Kanyoi, tell me what to write for new price of a belt. Uh-huh. Yeah. So item, and this one is belt, new price. C17,
items, the table from the whole of that the items.
I start from here.
No, from A5.
A5.
Mpaka K
So I start from A5
to K8.
this way.
Then comma.
Mm.
Then the row index is index 1, 2, 3, 4. Index 4.
Index 4.
Then
Yeah, false. And then
false. False is number 1.
so zero basically means false.
But we want an exact match.
No, like don't care about like the truth that has been highlighted, but I'm saying 0 is false. Okay, let me write for you false. So why has it given us NA?
Because
Go, tell me the problem. I know where the problem is. So can you look at your formula and tell us the problem?
all item should be 4. Then the row index should have been the whole row, then row index is 1. I think it's supposed to be no, it's not 1. 1.
Yeah, right. Okay. Somebody tell us the slight mistake that Peter has made. It's very evident. This one should be answered by a lady. Yeah, Vintain. Yes.
It was not supposed to be C17.
Uh-huh.
It was supposed to be, is it J after a new price? J8 for me. Hapo ndio alifaa kufikisha.
J8. Where's J8? This one.
Yeah, after the increase. No,
Uh,
J or I don't know. I'm not able to see, but I guess I8.
uh, yes, Peter?
Yeah, I think we could have started from A4.
Yeah, so that is the problem. Because we are looking for belt, we are looking for information about belt. But the way we highlighted this table, there is nowhere Excel is going to run and find belt inside here because basically we just have numbers here because we had missed starting from A4. So it is supposed to be A4 running all the way up to K8. So this one is supposed to be starting from A4. So it was the table referencing that was a problem. So you see that the whole table is now covered. And so we have 345 as the result for the price of a belt after the 10% increase. Where's the belt? Let me see. Belt. So why is it giving us? So this one is LED. Aha, even your referencing is a problem because it's so item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this one is supposed to be 5. Yeah, I think this is what you are mentioning, Vintain. So this one was supposed to be number 5. So 16.50. Ah, yeah. Total sale of keyboards. Somebody has to do this for us. A lady probably, preferably. Let's hear from Aiga or Janice The same speed you raised your hand is the same speed you lowered it with. Aiga, save your people. Don't be afraid to take up a question. It's part of learning, by the way, and it makes you more confident even in what you do. The question was, what is the total sale of keyboards before the increase? This is the question. Are you able to see it, Janice? Yeah, so you are being told what is the total sale of keyboards before the increase. So are you taking it up?
Okay, well, I can try.
Yeah, I mean,
So, of course, you write the item and the keyboards.
yes, okay. Okay, let me do what you're telling me. You're the teacher here. Keyboard.
Yes, keyboards. Then what you need in your item.
So, so you just to be sure that it is keyboard and not keyboards. So keyboards.
Keyboard. Oh, it's keyboard.
No, it's keyboard. Like what we have in here is keyboard. So that is what we maintain. I mean, in my question, I wrote keyboards.
Keyboard.
Yeah.
Then now it will be the total.
Yeah.
So the formula will be equals to HLOOKUP. Hebu rudi kwa juu kidogo. Kwa keyboard. Wait a minute. Just a minute. Let me confirm something from my end. Kidogo. The lookup value should be, I think you should select rudi kidogo tena kwa juu.
Let me zoom it out so that you're able to see everything. Let her go. Okay.
Okay, so it will be H equals to H lookup into brackets. The total sale for keyboard should be I think it's F7. No, sorry. C21. That should be the lookup value. Select the keyboard, yes. Then the table array should be select from A4 all the way to K8 chini. Then the row index should be, wait a minute. The row index should be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then now I think it's false.
Yeah, let's just write true and see what true is an approximate match, false is an exact match. So if you write 0, it is the same as writing false. If you write 1, it is same as writing true. So it is giving us that it is 7832. 7832. Let's see if we, okay, yeah. So that lookup value, we can use it for I mean, even texts. Let's think of it when you are looking for texts. For example, what is the occupation of Javan, and maybe we find something written artiste. Let's see. No, I'm trying to think of that example, and Yeah, let me try and make it up. But that is the correct function to write here for us to get the total sale of keyboards before the increase. So that is total sale before increase, this one. Yeah. Are we together? Is everything okay? Who is not understanding the two, HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP? So I'm seeing a couple of hands up, or thumbs up, sorry. Radovan Musembi. Yeah. So what you're supposed to look at is, I'm supposed to share in some videos for you to have a look at, and we converse tomorrow. Let me just stop sharing recording, sorry.